Welcome to My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Of course, England finishing with 305 in 50 overs. My prediction tomorrow. And then you can sit in the beach. Let's see if you can win it then. But right now, of course, New Zealand will be going into the halftime saying, we pretty much won the second half of that first half.
Oh, absolutely. And if you look at it, 194 for 1 in 30 overs. So you're saying that, if conventional wisdom also works, is 388, that's what they were looking at. 194 for 1, and look at where they ended up. So they're not, from there, even if you say that, okay, you don't actually double when you score, you're already scoring so high.
Yeah.
But they're at least 50-60 runs short of what they should have been.
Yeah, at least
50-60
and Zach, we were in the first power play, I think, talking, and let's say, 360, 370, anything's on. And then the second Combox or we spoke and said, okay, maybe 335, 340. So after that, when they're seeing 305, they're like, man, we really missed this bus.
See, to stay in the game, I think New Zealand has done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Not many teams can handle this kind of pressure. When you are at the end of 30 overs, team going so strong, almost scoring 200. Yeah. So from that, just to finish so strong in the last back 20 of that innings is phenomenal. I think it shows a lot of character and just the kind of approach which New Zealand team has just playing cricket. They're not really worried about what has happened in the game. They've been proactive.
Yeah.
and showed a lot of character. I think to just keep following the process. The other thing which I felt that wicket did slow down, which I think New Zealand, which England failed to adapt to. This was a kind of a surface where once you set that kind of platform, if you aim for 350, you will end up at 310, 320. That's what we saw. But if you just look to get 300, you would have got that 20, 25 runs extra, because it's not a kind of surface where you can just keep
because you would not have
with
lost
the kind
wickets.
of flow with which was there with the new ball.
Yeah.
So it's a very classic case of matches which we see at times in subcontinent, where the wickets are slower and lower, and as the game progresses, it gets slower and lower further. So that's something which you have to adapt with the game, and you have to be precise with your options.
We've been seeing this in the World Cup though anyway, right? What you talk about is the classic subcontinent kind of wicket behavior. All the wickets almost in England, it's almost like it's like reverse colonization. Yeah, it's reverse colonization, correct. All the subcontinental people who are there in England have turned the color of the pitch as well.
The World Cup didn't start like that.
Yeah.
It started with a lot of rain around, there were some rain interrupted matches, and then there's some overcast conditions where the bowlers had upper hand.
Yeah.
But now I think as we are getting into a proper English summer, then that's what is the wickets are getting slower, and they're slowing down as the game is progressing. So that makes the new ball importance of new ball even more. As a batting unit.
Yeah.
So you have to set that tone. You have to get those extra runs in the first 20-25 overs. So you got to start cautiously. But New Zealand, we know that what kind of batting lineup they have. So Guptill is going to be the key for New Zealand today, because you need that impact at the beginning, and then the likes of Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor can control the game in the middle. Now, having fielded on this and having seen how things can change and the importance of keeping wickets in hand, I think New Zealand will have that advantage approaching this. So all in all, you never know, Pakistan might be smiling at this stage.
Might be, but here's the thing. This is the problem that has been with New Zealand, because the pitches are slowing down and they're not getting enough runs from their openers. It's left to consolidation by Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. And that's the reason why they've not been able to chase anything in this tournament, right? I think they did a chase of 250 or something.
Yeah. Look, nobody's managed to chase. If you look at
250 plus only one team has done, which is Bangladesh against West Indies.
They did it in style. They did it 9 overs to spare their chase 320 odd. But that's the problem. Nobody has managed to chase successfully. For all we talk about powerful batting sides, England, look at their bottom order batsmen like Butler and all coming in so late. Stokes, Butler, all firepower out there. They're not managing to chase. Something is happening. Guys are getting strangled, or they're overestimating the targets and going hard early, losing wickets. Somewhere this sort of code of chasing has not been cracked.
Yeah.
Because the day it happened, One is an anomaly. It can happen anytime. And that day, Liton Das and Shakib were just out of this world. But it has not happened consistently. And I'm just wondering why. Because these are all very experienced and good batting sides.
Yeah, and nothing. Imagine 41 games and only one successful chase over 250. Sorry, 37 games, 4 were washed out. Only one chase over 250. That's a staggering stats, Zach.
Yeah, it's good that the teams are going in the old-fashioned way. I mean, the toss, bat first, put runs on board, and then you have the bowlers defend the total.
Yeah.
I think it's got to do with the fact that pressure is also on. Yes, there are certain wickets which has slowed down, so that has played a huge role. So teams are approaching differently, and every now and then you've seen in a tournament certain trends are developed. So I think this World Cup is all about this kind of a trend where captains started winning the toss, started to opt to bowl first, but then later on realized that okay, in these conditions maybe to bat first is a safer option, and the pressure of the scoreboard has worked beautifully well in this World Cup. Looking at this match though, it will be interesting to see what kind of mindset England now walks on the field, because it's are they going to look at saying we have not achieved the kind of total which is required on this track, or the kind of platform which we have set, or is there someone in that dressing room who is going to inspire the team and saying that hang on, New Zealand has not scored 300 consistently in this tournament.
Nobody has. Hardly anyone has got a run. So you're seeing a 305 and you're going, it's not a 205, guys. Wake up. Agreed, we didn't get to 350. But we have got to 305. New Zealand has not managed to chase anything. We saw them against Australia. Also, they sort of shut up shop pretty early. And again, the key is the openers. We get the openers. So that's essentially trying to get 2 wickets. We can choke them.
I think of course they will. And for them, remember, there's much more at stake. Because if they lose, then all of them will go and support Bangladesh t-shirts. Because they'll be supporting Bangladesh in the match against Pakistan.
And there'll be a lot of cut, because I noticed that England did that a lot in the death overs against India. There was a lot of cutters bowled into the pitch. So, Zach, you probably see some of that happening again from England today.
Jofra is going to be the key. I think, with the new ball also, he'll have to make that impact. So, he's going to play that very crucial role of giving that breakthrough. So, keeping things going for England and putting pressure on New Zealand, which the openers have not had a great run in this tournament. So make sure that that continues for New Zealand, and the back end of the innings. Back end of the innings with his slower ones, the change of pace which we've seen. One concern about England bowling lineup is that they go defensive at times. So that is something which they have to be careful of. They have the bowling lineup to defend the total. There was a little bit of reverse swing also, which all the bowlers should be happy with. You have pace of Wood as well, who will be effective because the wicket has looked dry and rough. So that is something which will help the reverse swing bowling. So Wood, I think, can have a good day because of extra pace which he brings. Plunkett is again going to play that crucial role of controlling that middle phase. And England wouldn't want Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson batting together for a long time.
Yeah, because they love those partnerships. They are the regular Jay and Viru, and batting is like their motorcycle. They just keep going on and on. Let's talk about the openers for England. Another fantastic century stand by them. Johnny Bairstow got another 100. There's a lot that happened there, didn't it? There's a lot of records that happened there.
No, exactly.
What is it, third century stand in a row?
Third century stand in a row, and that just meant how much they're missing Jason Roy. You can make out. The moment he came back, look at the difference it's made. And that's what's so important with them. See, Bairstow and Roy, remember, that's the reason why they're at 305 now. If they hadn't got going, this could have become 245, 235 in a very, very different target.
These are all the 100 partnerships that England have had in the World Cup. And you see most of them are coming, I mean, they're coming everywhere. They're coming with a Butler, who's at number 6. They come with a Morgan and Stokes, who are at 4 and 5. But a lot of them are coming from the openers. So there you go, 160 against India, 123 today. And then you got to go up a little bit. Where are they? Butler.
Right up there.
Best one, 128 against Bangladesh. So that's when James Wins came in. And then
lost 3 in a row. They are not 3 in a row, but they lost 3 in that.
See, what's happening with England is they're getting caught up in terms of what kind of tempo they're setting.
Yeah.
Like today, they were going at 6 runs per over throughout the game.
Correct.
Right, till about 30 overs. Then after that, to adapt once the wicket has fallen, they don't have that change in gear in terms of that momentum shift which is required.
They have gear 5 or they have standing still.
Exactly. So you have at 30 over mark, you have 120 deliveries to face with 9 wickets in hand.
Correct.
So that actually has played in
got less than 6 in that.
Other way, exactly.
Yeah, they've got less than one a ball. They've got 111 and they've lost 7 wickets.
So that's what. So that communication has not been happening, and we've not seen this first time in the tournament, and that is a concern, And we've been talking about this right from the first match of the World Cup when they lost to Pakistan. There was a talk that they need to understand what kind of surface it is and change their game accordingly, adapt to the conditions, adapt to the situation. I think that is something which they've still not figured. So if they've got themselves in a little bit of trouble right now, they could have easily batted New Zealand out of the game. Like a 340 on this surface would have been a completely different kind of mindset New Zealand batsman would have walked in.
Yeah.
But look at that fall of wickets. Till 30 overs.
Nothing.
They're just 1 wicket down.
30th over mark, 194 for 1, and then they start falling.
Exactly.
Like 9 pins.
No, but also Zach had said such an important thing, and I think that is critical to what he said. Why is Joe Root so important to them? Yeah. Joe Root is important to them is because he frees the other side, the other side batsman, his partner, from thought.
Yeah.
So if Joe Root is batting, Morgan is saying, I'll hit. That's my job. Stokes is saying, I'll hit. Everyone is saying, I'll hit. Now, Joe Root gets out. Okay, what happens? One side there's Bairstow, one side there's Morgan walks in or whoever walks in, Butler walks in. Do I hit or do I defend? Who hits, who defends? I'm in 2 minds now.
Yeah.
So that is why Williamson and Joe Roots are so important to that team, because they take away what you want when a player has to execute his shots, all he should be worrying about is his shots. He shouldn't be thinking about rate, this thing, because it complicates. So when Root is there, that responsibility he takes over.
Yeah.
That's the problem they're facing. They don't know which gear to bat on. मैं defend करूँ, तू defend करे, मैं मारूँ, तू मारूँ, कौन मारे?
And when someone is going strong, then it's just easier for Root. You look at in this World Cup as well, whenever there has been some serious hitting going on, Root was at the other end.
Yep. Always
because he was the guy who was giving single to the power hitter, and the power hitter was taking a chance. When there were good days and power hitter is going strong, you will see that reflecting in the score.
Let's pull up those 100 partnerships again and see. His name featured quite prominently on a lot of them.
So that and he bats at that 90-100 strike rate, but he is someone who you cannot.
He's 5.
Yeah, 5 of them, and remember the rest are all opening partnerships.
Yeah.
3 of them are opening partnerships. So it's basically whenever he bats, the other side can go hard.
That Afghanistan game when Eoin Morgan was going very strong and he's hit some 16, 18 sixes.
17 sixes.
Yeah.
Root was at the other end. Today, because Root was not there at the other end, Morgan was actually playing Root's role, which is just consolidating.
Correct.
So you saw when they lost 2 wickets after that 30 overs. Root was Eoin Morgan was trying to control the game, and Vokes was taking a chance. He lost the wicket. Then pressure goes on Morgan again. Ben Stokes got out in that process. So that is something which you always then you have to alter your game. So if Root is batting at the other end, that just simplifies the process, and maybe they need actually
they need Moeen Ali. I'm telling you, they need Moeen Ali at 7.
See, Moeen Ali is also someone who is not looking to rotate. They just have Root who can keep rotating that strike. That anchor is only 1.
But again, with Vokes coming to bat up at 7 today, you almost thought that, all right, this is not that same joy. That batting line, Vokes at 8 gives a different feel than Vokes at 7 to the entire batting lineup.
No, I definitely think, but it's still such a long lineup. It is still a very long lineup, With Moeen there, it just is even stronger, even bigger. But it's still a, they say, and let's not forget again, they got 305 runs. 305 runs are big runs on the board.
Yeah.
Even after that huge middle order collapse, they managed to get to 305.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're focusing a lot on the back 20 overs and what New Zealand did there to pull England back, but of course not taking anything away from England, who got 194 runs in their first 30 overs just for the loss of 1 wicket, with yet another brilliant opening stand between Bairstow and Roy. For the New Zealand bowlers, oh man, Trent bowled. Yeah, unlucky, he should have had his 3rd wicket there. There was a catch, right, which went down. But otherwise, did the job for his captain, was asked to come in for a 2nd spell. And Zach, we were talking about this in the comm box when he had bowled 5 overs at the time, 15 overs done. It's like, well, they're not respecting anybody else. Everybody else is going for runs. Does Kane Williamson take a gamble and bring him back or save him right for the end? Gets him back, gets Butler, gets Root.
See, Kane Williamson usually has a very good feel of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see him being proactive on the field. He'll make the right calls. See, they don't come right all the time. I mean, there is no captain who can call all the calls and be dominant with that. You have to take those percentage calls and you have to go with the game. So when England was going so strong, he had to bring his best bowler back. Now, a best bowler coming back can either turn the game or he can control the situation. I think today Bolt came on and he just turned the game there. Those 2 wickets were very crucial, especially getting Root out and Butler as well on that slower one was very important, because that once that kind of platform is set, if those any 2 power hitters staying there at till the end, you would have seen a difference of at least 50 runs. That's what we are talking about here. That last 20 overs, average less than 6 runs per over would have been around, say, 8 runs per over. So that's the difference, that 40 runs which you're talking about, and that's the impact of both Bolt. Actually, all 3. Santner also took that vital wicket of Ben Stokes at that stage. That was also a very crucial moment of the game. Matt Henry as well, coming back and taking that wicket. He got Bairstow out, right?
Yeah.
So that was, again, Bairstow was a set batsman, has scored 100. So that at any stage, we always talk about, as a bowling unit, you have to think about taking wickets. Taking wickets changes the course of the game. So that is something which we've seen today, and the credit goes to the New Zealand bowlers who stayed in the game, who had that belief and kept coming back.
They did keep coming back, and it was a bowling effort that they will be proud of, definitely, using the conditions after the pitch slowed down a bit. All right, before we sign off, we have to talk about another piece of news that's just come in, which is Ambati Rayudu has announced his retirement. He's really been dealt a bad set of cards in the last few months, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think my basic problem is that, look, I think the Indian selectors don't have to be kind to anyone or unkind to anyone. Their job is to select the best team possible. But I think the communication to him, I think it was made very clear that you are the reserves.
Yes.
The fact that when reserves are down and players are going injured, you're repeatedly going to other people. That is the problem which, Ambati Rayudu would have felt. He would have said, okay, you haven't taken me. But you've said, these are our reserve players. Now somebody's got injured, you're getting somebody else. Yeah. That's where you turn and say, where's Mayank Agarwal come from? Was he in the reserves? Was he there? So that's, I think, the pain and this thing from where he's doing it. I don't deny that probably that is a better call for India to bring Mayank Agarwal. Maybe he's better suited to the circumstances. But perhaps the communication that had been made to them should have been made clearer, or they shouldn't have promised that we will go to our reserve players first before looking elsewhere.
So disillusioned a bit he would
More
be.
Than exactly, disillusioned.
It's rightfully so, Zach. I mean, till 6 months ago, there were public proclamations saying, oh, he is our number 4 now. Then he's sort of unceremoniously dropped from the World Cup squad and then announced as a reserve and then still not taken. So a bit of disillusionment or a bit of practicality, saying, all right, I'm obviously not part of India's plans now.
Look, I don't look at these things in a very negative fashion.
Okay.
For me, I hope that the call which Rayudu has taken is not an emotional one. That's what I'm hoping, because he's been having a fantastic run. Be it international cricket or the franchise cricket which he's been part of. He decided to move on from first class cricket about a year back, I think, and he was very clear in his mind. So walking away from the game and taking this call is a very individual thing. You know, I've always believed that it comes to you,
Yeah.
and we all have to respect and celebrate Raidu's contribution. You know, so whatever things he has achieved, you know, his career has been a roller coaster ride of sorts. You know, he was involved in few heated arguments. You know, his temper has been an issue, and he evolved as a cricketer as he moved along. You know, he was in a way a late flourisher. You know, and in spite of all that, you know, he achieved a lot. Like, you know, if you look at his career, there are not, and actually he can serve as an inspiration for many cricketers who are thinking let down by many things, but making an impact and staying
Keep coming
patient.
back and keep coming
Because,
back.
see, he was a very good prospect in under 19. Right? They're saying that, okay, this is the next India, this is the next big player coming through the under 19 ranks, scoring consistently, has got a lot of talent, and then he kind of lost track. Then he went to the Rebel League,
Yeah.
which was coming along there, and decided to walk away from first class. Then after that, he managed to come back and play IPL. Then he went and played for Baroda, changed the state. He played for Andhra also, I think.
Andhra, Hyderabad, Baroda, all.
In between, started scoring runs again at the first class level, earned his spot at the international level. You know, so he has been through a lot, but he kept coming back and kept believing. And last few years has been phenomenal for him. You know, he was very consistent with run getting. So yes, maybe, you know, he was disappointed. He was really looking forward to the World Cup and making an impact there at that stage. So that's why I'm saying I hope it's not an emotional decision.
It's a practical decision, I guess,
Yeah.
as well, saying, listen, I'm obviously not part of the plans.
But looking at
for
his
future.
career, you know, I look at Raidu's career as an inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, so not everyone has this career which they dream of, but it's about achieving a lot. I think, you know, Raidu has achieved a lot and can serve as an inspiration to a lot of the guys who make an impact in the junior cricket, then come at first class level, have few off seasons or rough seasons, and then somehow think that, okay, nothing is possible. To believe through that phases, the ideal example is Ambati Raidu's career. You know, how he had made that impact. So, you know, I'm looking at his career that way, and every career like this should be celebrated. So I think it's time that we celebrate Raidu's innings which he has played with regard to cricketing career, and wish him all the luck for the second innings of his life.
Second innings for sure. And in his case, it's almost like the fourth innings because he played his innings and he kept coming back, as Zach just said. Sorry, Joy, you wanted to add something?
No, nothing. Just that anyone who ends his career with 55 matches with a batting average of 47.62, that's a serious batting average. Any batting average over 40 in one-day international cricket is great. 47, he's won 3 championships with Mumbai. He's won one championship with Chennai. He's one of the most successful IPL batsmen ever. Remember, this is a guy who's in the ICL. This is a guy who was our 2004 captain, as he said, under 19 captain, the greatest prospect. And that's exactly, he's a comeback hero. He's an absolute comeback inspiration for all of us. And I think that's the thing that, you know, maybe there's another innings left because, you know, if he's retired from all forms of cricket out here, maybe international leagues open up to him. Who knows? We might see much more of Raidu in the future.
Might see much more of him, but right now, not in India colours. That's not going to be it because he has announced his retirement. So we, of course, all of us at Cricbuzz wish Ambati Raidu all the very best for whatever he's doing next. And right now, we also want to wish New Zealand and England and Pakistan all the best for this match. Because when you see the points table, you'll see that all of Pakistan is pretty much cheering New Zealand on to chase this. It's a big mountain, man. 306 is a mountain to climb, but it's a mountain that Pakistan is egging New Zealand on to climb, because only if New Zealand deny England these points can Pakistan then have a chance to get to 11 and leapfrog over England and get that last semi-final spot. But if England manages to defend this score, then it's bye-bye birdie pretty much for Pakistan. It really will be. But that's the thing. Can New Zealand do this? Can they get to 306? It's a big one. It's going to be something really special.
It's just slightly tilted in England's favour. Just looking at the wicket and how it changed as the innings went along. So that will be something which I'm looking forward to from the next innings, that whether wicket plays better, whether it stays the same. The new ball is going to be vital, I think, from New Zealand's point of view. Till the time that ball is hard, they have to make that impact and score at a decent pace, because later on in the innings, it's not going to be easy to just score freely.
Yeah.
So that is something which New Zealand anyways has, that kind of a style of play, where they stack up their first 10 overs looking to get that 6-7 runs per over. So if they achieve to do that and just lose 1 wicket in like first 10 overs and score close to 70 runs, I think then New Zealand has got a great chance, because they have touch players. I think what you need on this track is touch players who can build an innings in singles and doubles. Which in Kane Williamson they have. In Latham is another important cog in this run chase. He has not been getting runs in this tournament. If he gets runs also, and the experience of Ross Taylor, because New Zealand has got more touch players than England. I think where England got into trouble after that start, after that brilliance of Johnny Bairstow and Roy, is that in the middle phase they didn't have touch players since Root got out. So that is something which may turn to be a differentiating factor between the two teams approaching on this track. And 305 can be a tricky score for England to defend if say 2 or 3 batsmen of New Zealand, especially the touch player, not the power hitters, but touch players.
Not the Thors. Not the Thors, man. You need the mischievous deft touch of a Loki, not Ferguson. It's a batsman, Loki the villain. Just slowly. The god of mischief. Can there be the god of mischief today? Can New Zealand do it?
They can, but I think the odds are against them, as he said.
So what are you saying? 60-40, 70-30, 80-20?
I'd say 70-30 England, just because they have the runs on the board, and this tournament has shown me. I'm going with sheer numbers. If it's been chased down 1 out of 37 times, I'll go with the odds.
Ooh. So you're saying 70-30, you're saying?
60-40 in England's favour.
60-40 in England's favour, so then I will say 50-50.
I thought you were supposed to say 65-35. That's your normal.
No, I'm not going in the middle this time. I decided, no. I'm going to not sit on that fence. I'm going to sit on another fence, which is 50-50. I changed my fence. Don't take offense. Okay? Time for us to go now. We'll see you at the end of the 15th over on Cricbuzz Combox. Big thank you to Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you. It's now time for a cup of tea, perhaps?
Perfect.
Cup of tea. From me, Gaurav Kapur, and the rest of our crew is bye-bye on My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you in a bit.